bantu nk'okuzaara ni kurungi ogwo waba walirira oruzaaro rwawe tuzaaraho turikubaasa kureeberera nyensa tutaryayefuuza.
The Ndeija two-day workshop on environment and nutrition was held, as are many rural workshops in Uganda, in a local church. Ours was a small one-room Catholic church, jam-packed with furniture, benches, tables, drums, a pulpit, and chairs, as well as bright banners and stations of the cross. So our first job was to push some of the benches to the side and even outside, so we had work space in the middle of the room in which to conduct our interactive workshop. Each year, University Health Sciences students at Mbarara University in Uganda spend time in rural villages working in clinics and with community as preparation for their future as health workers. This video captures a community workshop in Ndeija, southwestern Uganda, where through their involvement, the students at that site learn and practice the skills used in this type of health education method. The three-card sort is one of the first exercises done in our environmental workshop. It makes use of a set of 12 to 15 black and white drawings of local environmental issues, such as charcoal burning, deforestation, and overgrazing. In small groups, the participants discuss each card and then group the card into one of three categories: issues they can take action on now, issues they need first to sensitize the community about, and issues they need to obtain more information about in order to take action. When this is done, groups visit each other and question the results, further enlarging the amount of information available about their community. As much of the environmental concern in early workshops focused around the ability to grow their own food, we added sessions on nutrition using the three-part food wheel that identifies GLOW foods, the protective foods, GO foods, energy foods, and GROW foods, the protein foods. While participants place items in the appropriate place on the rice bag of a food wheel, the facilitator asks about specific micronutrients such as vitamin A, C, iron, zinc, and iodine, as well as about the importance of protective foods. Handouts of the food wheel along with colored pencils were added especially for community-based health workers. They've proved popular with school teachers, health workers, women's groups, leaders, and others who color them in during the breaks and then take them home to share with others. So now we provide them to the whole group who are interested. Picture codes, such as this series of drawings of a man being given a fish and remaining hungry, followed by being taught how to fish and being able to feed himself, are discussed and unraveled in small groups. They have provided eureka moments for participants and have been instrumental in helping them unlock the meaning of development. When everyone has had a chance to discuss the picture, one person offers to explain it to the whole group to ensure that it is understood. A successful addition to the workshops recently has been the series of 10 posters with drawings detailing practical improvements to life in rural Uganda using local materials to make things such as fuel-saving stoves, kitchen gardens, mulching, and insecticides made from local materials. Available only in English, the posters were provided first as a resource for those who spoke English, but the ongoing request for practical local solutions led us to make groups within the workshop where fluent speakers in both the local language, Runyankoli, and English could then explain them to the others. After this is done, for 2 posters in each small group, someone in the group explains the poster to the whole group. The additional time spent in explaining has added to the discussion and the utility of the ideas for the group. For the development game, participants are lined up outside in a straight line and given a colored card to designate their social status. Red cards indicate high status, green cards are middle class, and purple cards, of which there are many, are working class. As development projects in farming, water, and literacy are introduced to the community, those of higher status become the teachers and thus benefit from the projects. And this is designated by their stepping forward. Those of lower status do not hear about the project because they don't own a radio, or they cannot find anyone to look after their children, so they can't come, and do not benefit from the project, and take steps backward. The discussion that results for this exercise emphasizes how we as a community need to be involved in ensuring that those for whom the project is meant can benefit from them, and that projects need to ensure that the intended recipients can be accommodated and take part. Gender makes for some of the most exciting discussions. Groups formed of men only and women only sort a number of common tasks into three categories of who does them most of the time in our communities. Not who can do them or who sometimes does them, but who does them most of the time. Cards with the tasks shown on them are then organized into three groups: those done by men, by women, and by both men and women. The card sorting differs greatly between the male groups and the female groups. So after they've both organized their cards, women join the men to view and challenge their placements, followed by men joining the women's group to view and question their placements. The sheer number of common tasks done by women, when laid out in pictures, is stunning. Following this exercise, one of the male participants was so embarrassed he said he didn't realize how much his wife did, and he would need to go home and rectify it. Another man claimed that his wife and his roles were equal in looking after the sick, at least, because if they needed to go to the hospital, only he could drive them. His wife brought the house down when she said, "If that is true, why do your mother and father always call me when they're ill?" One of our students here is being coached in storytelling using the traditional stone soup story with a flannel board. The stone soup story highlights the importance of community and working together, looking after each other to accomplish what we want. But it is also used to emphasize the nutritional values of various protective foods and the micronutrients so important to health. After the story is told once, small groups are formed which practice retelling the story. Sets of felt figures and flannel are given to the primary school teachers and the community health workers who have best demonstrated how to use them effectively, and the competition is stiff. Each small group takes one environmental problem of their community that's been identified and works out all the causes, which are the roots of the problem, as well as the effects on the community, which are the branches, thus creating a problem tree, a visual record that captures and displays the links between causes and effects. The final half day of the workshop brings together all the learning and discussion. Groups draw a seasonal calendar depicting three variables in the community, such as food, nature, and economy, as they were 10 years ago, and then compares them with how they are today. This historical seasonal calendar highlights the changes people have noticed in their area and how they have affected their lives. We conclude with small groups, each drawing a visual map of how they would like their community to become in the future. This video captures a group of health sciences students in southwestern Uganda in Ndeija, working and learning with community about environment. More than 500 students each year travel to rural communities in Uganda as part of Mbarara's Rural Placement Program, learning to work with communities. By being actively involved, our students gain skills that help them understand and appreciate rural communities and also to be able to provide more effective health education in their future role as health workers. The song in this movie was composed by the health students at Buhara with their community health workers to emphasize the advantages of family planning.
Bantu mw'okuzara ni kurungi, obwo waba walirira oruzaro rwawe, tuzaraho turikubaasa kureberera, nyensa tutaryayefuza.